Sarah is 12 years old. She lives in a big old house with her family. The house has 3 floors and many rooms. Sarah's bedroom is on the 2nd floor. Her parents work in the city every day. Sarah has a younger brother named Ben. Ben is 8 years old. He likes to play with toy cars. Sarah likes to read books and solve puzzles. She is very curious about everything. The house belonged to Sarah's grandfather. He died 2 years ago. Sarah loved her grandfather very much. He told her many interesting stories. He collected old things like watches, books, and maps. Now, all his things are still in the house. One rainy afternoon, Sarah is bored. She cannot go outside because of the rain. Ben is playing video games downstairs. Sarah decides to explore the attic. The attic is on the 3rd floor. Nobody goes there very often. It is full of old furniture and boxes. Sarah opens the door to the attic. The stairs are wooden and they creak. She climbs up slowly. The attic is dark and dusty. Sarah turns on the light. She sees old chairs, a broken mirror, and many cardboard boxes. There are spider webs in the corners. Sarah is not afraid of spiders. She walks around the attic carefully. She opens some boxes. One box has old photographs. Another box has clothes from many years ago. Then Sarah sees something interesting. In the corner, covered with a white sheet, is something tall. Sarah walks over and pulls the sheet away. Dust flies everywhere, and Sarah coughs. Under the sheet is a beautiful grandfather clock. It is made of dark wood. The clock is very tall, taller than Sarah. It has a glass door on the front. Behind the glass, Sarah can see the pendulum. But the clock is not working. The hands show 3 o'clock. Sarah wonders how long the clock has been stopped. She tries to open the glass door. It is locked. She looks for a key but cannot find one. Sarah examines the clock more carefully. The wood has beautiful carvings of flowers and birds. At the top of the clock, there is a small drawer. Sarah pulls the drawer open. Inside, she finds a small brass key. She tries the key in the lock. Click! The glass door opens. Sarah looks inside the clock. She sees the pendulum hanging still. She sees the weights on chains. Behind the pendulum, Sarah notices something strange. There is a small piece of paper. It is folded and yellowed with age. Sarah reaches in carefully and takes the paper. She unfolds it. On the paper, written in old-fashioned handwriting, are these words: "When the clock strikes midnight, the secret room will appear. Follow the sound of bells and find what you hold dear. The key is in the garden, beneath the oldest tree. This treasure is for those who seek, for those who dare to see." Sarah reads the message 3 times. Her heart beats faster with excitement. A secret room, a treasure. She must tell Ben about this. Sarah runs downstairs with the paper. She finds Ben in the living room. Ben, look what I found," she says. Ben looks up from his game. "What is it?" he asks. Sarah shows him the paper and tells him about the clock. Ben's eyes get wide. "A treasure? Really?" he says. "I think so," says Sarah. "But we need to find a key in the garden first." The message says it's under the oldest tree. Ben jumps up. "Let's go find it." "But it's still raining," says Sarah. They look out the window. The rain is lighter now. "We can use umbrellas," says Ben. Sarah agrees. They put on their rain boots and jackets. They take 2 umbrellas from the hallway, then they go into the back garden. The garden is large. There are many trees, flowers, and bushes. Everything is wet from the rain. Water drips from the leaves. "Which tree is the oldest?" asks Ben. Sarah looks around. She remembers her grandfather showing her the trees. "I think it's the oak tree," she says. "Grandfather planted it when he was young." They walk to the big oak tree. It stands in the middle of the garden. Its trunk is thick and its branches spread wide. "Where do we dig?" asks Ben. "The message says beneath the tree," says Sarah. They look at the ground around the tree. There are roots everywhere. Then Sarah sees something. On one side of the tree there is a flat stone. It is different from the other stones in the garden. It has a carving on it. The carving is a clock face. "Look at this," says Sarah. She kneels down on the wet grass. Ben comes closer. Together they try to lift the stone. It is heavy, but it moves. Under the stone is a small metal box. The box is rusty, but still closed tight. Sarah picks it up. She opens the lid. Inside, wrapped in cloth, is an old iron key. "We found it," says Ben excitedly. Sarah smiles. "Now we need to wait until midnight," she says. The message says the clock must strike midnight. "But the clock is not working," says Ben. "We need to fix it first." They go back inside the house. They are wet and muddy. They clean up and change their clothes. Then they go back to the attic. Sarah and Ben stand in front of the grandfather clock. "How do we make it work?" asks Ben. Sarah thinks. She remembers watching a video about grandfather clocks. "We need to wind it up," she says, "and we need to set the time." Inside the clock, Sarah finds 2 keyholes. One is for winding the spring, the other is for setting the time. She uses the brass key to wind the clock. She turns it many times until it won't turn anymore. Then she moves the hands to show the correct time. It is now 6 o'clock in the evening. Finally, Sarah gently pushes the pendulum. It starts to swing. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The clock is working. "It works," says Ben happily. Sarah feels proud. "Now we have to wait 6 hours," she says, "until midnight." The children go downstairs. Their mother is cooking dinner in the kitchen. "Where have you 2 been?" she asks. "Just exploring," says Sarah. She doesn't tell her mother about the treasure, not yet. After dinner, Sarah and Ben pretend to watch TV. But they are both thinking about midnight. At 9 o'clock, their mother says it's bedtime. "But Mom," says Ben, "can we stay up later tonight?" "No, it's a school night," says Mother. Sarah has an idea. "We'll go to bed now," she says. She gives Ben a look. He understands. They will stay awake and sneak out at midnight. In her room, Sarah sets her phone alarm for 11:45 p.m. She lies in bed with her clothes on. She tries to stay awake, but it is hard. She keeps thinking about the secret room. What will they find? Finally, her alarm vibrates. Sarah gets up quietly. She tiptoes to Ben's room. She knocks softly on his door. Ben opens it immediately. He is already awake and ready. Together, they creep down the hallway. The house is dark and quiet. Their parents are asleep. Sarah and Ben climb the stairs to the attic. The old steps creak under their feet. They freeze and listen. No sound from downstairs. They continue up to the attic. Sarah turns on the light. The grandfather clock is still ticking. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The hands show 11:52 p.m., 8 minutes until midnight. The children sit on an old trunk and wait. The minutes pass slowly. 11:55 p.m., 11:58 p.m., 11:59 p.m. Sarah and Ben hold their breath. The clock begins to chime. Bong! The sound is loud and clear. Bong! Sarah counts the chimes. Bong! 3, 4, 5. Bong! 6, 7, 8. Bong! 9, 10, 11. Bong! 12. The clock finishes chiming. Then something amazing happens. They hear a clicking sound. It comes from the wall behind the clock. A section of the wooden wall moves. It slides to the side. Behind it is a dark opening, a secret door. Sarah and Ben look at each other with wide eyes. "It's real," whispers Ben. Sarah takes out her phone. She turns on the flashlight. She shines it into the opening. There are stone steps going down. "Should we go in?" asks Ben nervously. Sarah feels scared but also excited. "We came this far," she says. "Let's see what's down there." Sarah goes first. Ben follows close behind her. The steps are narrow and steep. They go down carefully. The air is cold and smells old. After 12 steps, they reach the bottom. Sarah shines her light around. They are in a small room. The walls are made of stone. In the center of the room is a wooden table. On the table is a large leather book. Next to the book is a wooden box. Sarah and Ben walk to the table. Sarah opens the book carefully. The pages are yellow and fragile. The book is full of drawings and notes. It is her grandfather's journal. Sarah recognizes his handwriting. She reads some of the pages. Her grandfather wrote about his inventions. He wrote about his dreams and ideas. He wrote about his love for his family. On the last page, there is a message. To my dear grandchildren, if you found this room, you are clever and brave. This journal contains my life's work and thoughts. I leave it to you. In the box, you will find something special. It belonged to my father and his father before him. Now, it is yours. Always be curious. Always seek knowledge. And always remember that the greatest treasure is family. With all my love, Grandfather. Sarah feels tears in her eyes. She misses her grandfather so much. Ben is looking at the wooden box. Can we open it? He asks. Sarah nods. Ben lifts the lid. Inside the box, on red velvet, is a beautiful pocket watch. It is made of gold and has delicate engravings. Sarah picks it up carefully. She opens it. Inside the cover is a tiny photography. It shows her grandfather as a young man with his family. The watch is still working. It ticks softly in Sarah's hand. This is amazing, says Ben quietly. Sarah closes the watch gently. Grandfather left this for us, she says. We should take good care of it. They take the journal and the watch. They climb back up the stone steps. The secret door is still open. When they step into the attic, the door closes behind them. Click! The wall looks normal again. Sarah and Ben look at the grandfather clock. It is still ticking peacefully. Thank you, Grandfather, whispers Sarah. The next morning, Sarah and Ben show their parents what they found. Their mother cries when she sees the journal and the watch. Your grandfather would be so proud of you, she says. Their father hugs them both. You solved his final puzzle, he says. Sarah decides to keep the journal in her room. She reads it every night before bed. She learns about her grandfather's life and dreams. The pocket watch stays in the living room. It sits in a glass case where everyone can see it. And the grandfather clock? Sarah and Ben move it downstairs to the hallway. They wind it every week. It chimes every hour. And every midnight. When Sarah hears it chime 12 times, she remembers that special night. The night she discovered that the best treasures are not gold or jewels. The best treasures are family, love, and memories. The end.